So today I will teach you limits. I will teach you limits. Okay. So this chapter is very important as you want to learn this differentiation or integration or continuity. Fine. Before that, you should learn about limits. By the way, what is limit and what is the concept of limit? Why we need limit? Okay. First of all, you should understood what is the concept of limits. Okay, first you should understand the concept of limits. Okay, whatever the concept is there, you should first understand that. Okay, got it? So for make you understand concept of limit or understanding or need of limit, I want to take one example. Let's take one example, like any function fx is given is equal to x square minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Okay, got it? So this function is given. Now I'm saying let's take please find the value for function at 10. Okay, so what you will answer? You will say, sir, 100 minus 1 divided by 10 minus 1 means what? You are just putting value of x, that's it. So you are getting what? 99 by 9 means 11. Okay, fine. Now if I ask you find at 5, okay, function value at 5, then you will say, sir, 5 square minus 1 divided by 5 minus 1, that is what? That is 25 minus 1 divided by 4 means, sir, what you want to say? I want to say that is 6. Okay, sir, got it. If I ask you 2, then what you will answer? You will say 2 square minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1 is equal to 3. Okay, got it. Now very intelligent student in the class like Bhola. Okay, like Bhola is there and Bhola is saying, sir, why are you doing this? We can directly factorize this. How? Like, sir, we can factorize this. Okay, then we can find value. Okay, like what we are getting? We are getting x plus 1 from this. Okay, out of this, getting or not? And so you are also getting this, like you are getting at 10 you are getting 11. Okay, at 5 you are getting 6, at 2 you are getting 3, है means, sir, you are also getting same values like I am also getting. Like if I put 10 here, then I will get 11. If I put 2 here, I will get 3. If I put 5 here, I will get 6. Okay, so sir, why this is also right? So I say, okay, no problem. Then I say, okay, let's find value at function at 1. Okay, let's find at x equal to 1. Then what you will say? You will say, sir, this one is 1 square minus 1 divided by 1 minus 1, that is what? 0 by 0. In mathematics, if 0 comes in denominator, okay, then what? This should be not defined, means the function value at 1 is not defined. But the Bhola is saying, no, sir, I am getting 2. What is this? Bhola is getting 2, but we are getting not defined. Na? As per mathematics, function value at 1 should be not defined. Okay, that is correct only. This should be correct, means function value at 1 should be not defined. Then what is this 2? So this 2, so ये जो 2 है, so this 2 is the answer for limit. This is the answer of limit. Like what happened there? When we have any problem with any specific input, like we have problem with 1, at 1 we are getting not defined. That means at any function we are unable to find value at any specific input. Then what we will do? We will go to limits. We will go to limits. Okay, we will go to limits. Then limit says, okay, no problem, you are unable to find value at any specific point. Then find value at its neighborhood points, like neighborhood points. ओके, क्या हुआ, मैंने भोला से बोला, भोला राम का पता लगाओ, बट राम के बारे में किसी को पता नहीं, तो मैंने उसके राम के बच्चे से और उसकी पत्नी से पूछूंगा तो मुझे पता चलेगा राम कहाँ है। क्या ही एग्जाम्पल दिया, छोड़ो। लाइक आई वॉन्ट टू फाइंड वैल्यू एट 1. ओके, सो I can find value at its neighborhood point. This one is what? Number line. Means if I find value at its neighborhood point, let's take 0.9. You can take value at right hand side also, like 1.1. So we are unable to find value at 1. The limit is saying, okay, no problem, you can find value at its neighborhood point. Okay, so what I am doing now, I am finding value at its neighborhood point. Okay, so take, this is a number line and I am taking 0.9, and this one is x and this one is function of x. Okay, if I am putting 0.9, means what I am doing, I am putting 0.9 square minus 1 divided by 0.9 minus 1. Okay, now what, now factorization is allowed, now factorization is allowed. What I am doing this, you are getting my point or not? Like what I am saying, like this x plus 1, this x plus 1 is only possible when x is not equal to 1, because at x equal to 1 we are getting not defined. This is clear or not, है ना? Means at x equal to 1 we are getting not defined. Okay, but if I am not putting 1, I am taking any other value, then x plus 1 is possible na? Okay, so when I am putting 0.9, then this can be cancelled, है ना? Now this is not in 0 by 0 form, so we can do cancellation, like we are left with x plus 1 or 0.9 plus 1 form. Got it or not? So I am getting 1.9. Okay sir, no problem. Now what, let's take another value. Bhola is saying, sir, why are you taking 0.9? 0.99 is also closer to 1. I want to take 0.99. Okay Bhola, no problem. So I function value will be 1.99. If you go more closer towards 1, then you will say, sir, take this, no problem, I'll get value for this also. Got it? Like what we are doing, we are approaching towards 1. We are approaching towards 1, है ना? हम एक पर कभी नहीं जाएंगे, because एक पर क्या है, not defined. So what we will do, we want to try ओके, सो हम कहाँ थे, हाँ, लाइक हम एक पर कभी नहीं जाएंगे, ठीक है, बट व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन ट्राई एट इट्स हाँ, वी आर ट्राइंग एट इट्स नाइबरहुड पॉइंट. ओके, क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है, सो वी आर ट्राइंग एट इट्स नाइबरहुड पॉइंट. तो हम लेफ़्ट साइड से एक की तरफ जा रहे हैं, है ना? हमने 0.9 लिया, 0.999 लिया. You can take more closer value like 0. Bhola is saying, so take 0.99999 100 times then 9. So no problem, then also function value will be this 100 times 9 and 9. So what pattern this is following? Like this x is following pattern of what? Approaching towards 1. This sign is for what? Approaching sign, approaching or tending. Okay, this is not equal, है ना? We are not putting equal to 1 value, we are putting tending towards 1. We are putting value which are approaching towards 1. Okay, so what value what this value is approaching towards, so this value is approaching towards 2. okay, ये कहाँ को जाना चाह रही है, ये वैल्यू 1 की तरफ जाना चाह रही थी, ठीक है. व्हाट अबाउट दिस वैल्यू इज अप्रोचिंग टूवर्ड्स 2. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट और नॉट. सो आई एम गेटिंग 2. अभी 2 कब आ रहा है, जब हम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से जा रहे हैं, है ना. हम एक की तरफ वी आर अप्रोचिंग टूवर्ड्स 1 फ्रॉम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, सही बात है कि नहीं. ओके, सो वी आर गेटिंग 2 means we are getting our limit value is 2. okay sir, so what happened there, we are unable to find value at 1. okay, because we are getting not defined. Then we go to limit, and limit is saying please take value which are nearest point to 1. okay, now in the first case I approach from left hand side. okay, take value from right hand side also, like 1.1. okay, so 1.1. okay, there also x plus 1 is possible. okay, because it's not equal to 1, है ना. x plus 1 is not possible at 1 ना, other value of 1 is possible. okay, so now I'm getting 2.1. okay sir, if I go more closer to 1, like 1.01, so I'll get 2.01. fine. if I go more towards 1, if I approach more towards 1, then 1.00001 means I'll get 2.00001. okay, more closest value to 1 from right hand side will be this time, this will be. okay, fine. like what, 2.0000001. now what is happening here, so this is tending towards 1, this we already know. what about our function value, so function value is tending towards 2. you are getting my point or not. ये वैल्यू कहाँ को जाना चाह रही, देखो इसको जरा, 2.1 then 2.01 then 2.0001. ये वैल्यू 2 कभी नहीं होगी, बट इट वांट टू अप्रोच टूवर्ड्स 1. ऐसे x की वैल्यू है, x कभी 1 नहीं होगा, बट इट इज़ अप्रोचिंग टूवर्ड्स 1. यू आर गेटिंग माई पॉइंट और नॉट. ओके, सो व्हाट आई गॉट, कहाँ, ठीक है. सो आई गॉट 2 when we are moving towards right hand side. okay, got it. so इस बार हम कहाँ से आए, जब हम राइट हैंड साइड से मूव किए तो 2 आया, जब हम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से मूव किए तो 2 आया. got it. so we got our answer, like we are unable to find at 1, but with the help of limit it is possible to find values when we are getting 0 by 0 form or not defined, and then we require 1. okay, got it. so you understand what is the concept behind limit, why we need limit. okay, let's start our topic. so write first point here. first point is left hand limits. okay, what I call this, L H L. this is what left hand limit. okay, I call this left hand limit or LHL. now what is LHL? so LHL is a point. so what is LHL? write definition for this. LHL of a function, at x equal to a is the value okay, is the value towards which function approaches or takes as s or takes as x. okay, got it. from left hand side. Now what is this? This is like this one is x. Okay, this one is x. Let's take a is this. Okay, when we are approaching towards this a from left hand side, this is known as left hand limit. Whatever the function value we are getting is called left hand limit. Means what I want to say. Okay, understand from this example. Like when we are moving towards 1 from left hand side, okay, we are moving towards, we are approaching towards, we are tending towards 1 from left hand side, so this, so whatever the function value we are getting or approaching is called left hand limit, LHL. Means this 2 is what? This 2 is LHL. Got it? Now fine. Now what about right hand limit? Right second point. Second point is right hand limit. Right hand limit, that is RHL. Okay. Now what is RHL? RHL is when we are approaching towards A, or you can say like when we are approaching towards function x at x equal to a from right hand side, from right hand side is RHL. Means what? This is a this one is a and we want to find function x value. Okay, now we are taking value from right hand side. Okay, like this one is 1, I am taking 1.1, then I am taking 1.001, then I am taking 1.00. we are taking value from right side. So this is what, so whatever the function value we are getting from this is known as left hand limit. Like when we are going from right hand side, this is what, this is right hand side na, we moved from right hand side towards 1. Okay, so whatever the function value we are getting is known as, this one is what, right hand limit, RHL. Got it? Chalo, ठीक है. So this is what RHL. Okay, so take one example for this. Okay, so write function x is equal to x square plus 3. Okay, at x equal to 5 find right hand limit. Find right hand limit. So what is happening here? Like any function is given, we have to find at x equal to 5. Okay, so this one is 5. So what we have to find? We have to find right hand limit, means RHL. So how we calculate RHL? When we approach towards A from right hand side. Okay, when we approach towards A, this one is A na, from right hand side, we will get RHL value. So take any value like 5.1. Okay, so if I take x, and this one is function of x. Okay, so I am taking 5.1. so what fx I will get? This one is 5.1 square plus 3. What I am getting? I am getting approx 29.01. Okay, 51 square plus 3. Got it? So that is it. 29.01. Okay, if I take more close value like 5.01, so I will get 28.71 something. I already calculated these values. Now I don't have, like if I take 5.00001, okay, more closer value to 5, like 5.0001, so I'll get something 28.0001. okay, I will not get 28 है ना, because 28 is possible at what 5 है ना, at 5 we will get 25 plus 3 is equal to 28 है ना, but we are approaching towards 5, we can't take 5 है ना, means we will take these values very closest value to 5 but never take 5 है ना, so this will not never come 28 but it will approach towards 28 whatever the 5.00001 value we are taking. Now what is happening here, so this value is tending towards 5. okay, now what about this, so this value is tending towards, ये क्या बनना चाह रही है, this value is tending towards 28. okay, so this value making a pattern, so a pattern to make itself to 28. so when we are approaching 5 from right hand side, we are getting 28, and this 28 is what, right hand limit. okay, got it or not, understood, sure, right. Come to next problem. acha, now some students say, sir, why are you doing this all the things, if I put 5 here directly then also I am getting 28, then why are you doing this? बच्चे ऐसे नहीं करेंगे तो लिमिट का कॉन्सेप्ट ही गड़बड़ा गया ना, है ना, लिमिट का यूज़ क्यों हुआ था, क्योंकि हम एट किसी एक्स वैल्यू पे इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल टू फाइंड दैट वैल्यू, है ना, समझ गए ना, यू आर गेटिंग माई पॉइंट और नॉट, है ना, सो ठीक है, चलो लेट्स टेक अनदर क्वेश्चन, then you will understand why we are not putting direct value. okay, let's take function x is equal to fractional part of x. okay, fractional part of x, this one is what, fractional part of x. okay, find LHL, left hand limit at x equal to 5 again. okay, ठीक है, चलो, now what, x function of x. okay, if this is left hand limit at 5, now we will approach towards 5 from left hand side, like let's take 4.9, any closer value to 5. okay, so this will be 4.9. okay, and what fractional part of x we are getting, sir 0.9. okay, now more towards 5, है ना, move more towards 5, so this will be 5.99. so at 4.99 I am getting 0.9999. okay, 2 times 9. okay, like 4.99999, so I am getting 0.99999. okay, if I take 490 times 9 then 9, so this will be 0.99999. okay, so now what is happening here, so this value is approaching towards 5 and our function value is approaching towards 1. got it, so our function value is approaching towards 1, so what we are getting, LHL is equal to 1. okay, got it or not, you are getting my point, है ना. अब if you want to put direct 5, है ना, यदि इधर डायरेक्ट 5 रख देते, so what you will get, 0 ना, and 0 is not answer for LHL, so understand, so always go through that method. okay, this will be in practice after this is the basic concept of limits. okay, we are going from basic of limit, that's why I am doing this, otherwise most of the teacher teaches you directly, है ना, how to do, just put value, है ना, teacher teaches you like this one is a approx value, but limit is not a approx value, this is this is a we will take value of limit which it is approaches or takes. Okay, whatever the value it takes or approaches to us, है ना, we take that value of limit. Okay, got it. Right, third point for limit. Right, third point for limit. Okay. So what is the point? When limit exists. Okay. So limit of a function, limit of a function is said to be exist if, okay, if at x equal to a. Okay, first point. Right, like that. X equal to a if, ओके, अब लिमिट कब एग्जिस्ट होगी किसी फंक्शन की एट एक्स इक्वल टू ए. ओके, सो कब होगी, देखो, राइट दिस, दीज आर इन नोट पॉइंट्स. तो लिखा है when left hand limit at x equal to a is equal to right hand limit at x equal to a is equal to l, है ना, से l बोल मीन्स जब लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट एंड राइट हैंड लिमिट are equal, means left hand limit and right hand limit giving you same values. Like in the first example, we have taken function value as x square minus 1 divided by x minus 1, and we are getting LHL value as 2 and RHL value as equal to 2. Okay, so there what L value, this 2 value is what L, so we are getting limit value as 2 when we are taking left hand limit and right hand limit, so there will be limit exist. Okay, so here limit exist when LHL is equal to RHL. Now what, write some note points. First, if LHL or RHL or both does not exist. Okay, यदि LHL and RHL or both are not exist, then the limit also not exist. Then limit does not exist. Okay, got it? If one of LHL all RHL not exist, if one of them are LHL and RHL not exist, then also limit does not exist. Then also limit does not exist. Got it? Now what? Now if LHL and RHL both exist, okay, both exist but not equal, then also limit does not exist. Means what? Limit is only exist when LHL should exist, RHL should exist, and these both should be equal, and these both should have equal value, है ना. Now take another point, like they both exist and they have equal value. Then how you will represent limit? Like I am saying, if LHL at x equal to a is equal to RHL at x equal to a is equal to L. Okay, then limit exists. Okay, and how you will represent limit? Now the first point came for limit, how you represent. So limit will exist by LT or by LIM. Okay, these are the two representation of limit. You can find any in your booklet. Okay, so limit x tending towards a, this sign is for tending towards, this is not a equal sign है ना. Limit have a whole concept of approaching towards, tending towards, making a pattern towards. Okay, this is not a sign for equal. Okay, so x tending towards a, function of x is equal to L. Okay, whatever the L we are getting, that is our answer. So these are the two representation of limit. Okay, got it or not? This one is take this as first point. Okay, next point you can take if they are asking about LHL, find LHL, left hand limit, then how you will represent in mathematics to LHL? You will represent limit x tends toward a, negative sign will come here. Okay, and function of x. So this is a representation for what? LHL at x equal to a. Got it? And what is the representation for RHL? For RHL we will say at x equal to a, at is limit x tending towards a, positive, function of x. By the way, this is not an inverse sign and this is not a positive sign. They are just a representation of mathematics. Like when we are moving towards a from left hand side, LHL, so we will call this as a negative, and we will when we will move towards a from left hand side, that is LHL, so we are calling this as a positive. These are just a representation in mathematics. This is how to represent in mathematics. Got it? So these are the 2 points. Okay, now write some questions so you will understand better. Got it? Like find limit value at x equal to 3 of what I'm saying, x tending towards 3. Okay, and this one is greatest integer of x. This one is greatest integer of x. So now what do? So when limit exists, we learn that limit exists only when LHL, RHL both are equal. No, both exist and both have equal value as L. Okay. By the way, I not tell about that L, है ना? What L hold. So this also you can write. So this L, okay, right here. This one is first point where you can write right here only. Okay, note A you can say. Okay, call this as B. This one is first point. So what is L? L is known as limiting value, limiting value or value of limit at x equal to a. This L na, so this L is known as limiting value. That 2 we got in the first question, so this 2 is known as value of limit or limiting value. Got it? Now what? So find LHL. First of all, LHL means we are moving from left hand side. Okay, so LHL is x and function of x. Okay sir, no problem. What is happening? Okay, like from this I am taking 2.9, so 2.9, this one is 0.9, 2.999, 0.999. Okay, directly you can say this is approaching towards 1, this is approaching towards 3. Okay, so LHL I am getting 1. Got it? What about RHL? RHL, so this one is 1, this one is 3 now, 3, so this will be 3.1. 3.1 I am getting. This is what? This is not a fractional value. This is the greatest integer now. I have done well done what I did. This one is greatest integer of x. Okay, this is not a fraction part of x. So for greatest integer, for 2.9 I'll get 2, for 2.99 I'll get 2, for 2.99999 I'll get 2. So what is the definition of limit? If anywhere we are getting the value we are approaching or takes in continuity, है ना? So 2 is coming in continuity, है ना? Continuously means we will get 2. Whether we are putting 2.999 10 times 9 then 9, then also we will get 2 as greatest integer of x, है ना? You know na how to solve this GIF, greatest integer of x. Means in GIF 3 is there, whatever the value is there we will take leftmost point, है ना? Whatever the point of integer we have in the left, we will take this point. Okay, so what we are getting? We are getting 2. Okay, so we are getting 2 from left hand side. What about right hand side? So from right hand side we will get, like if I put 3.1 I'll get 3. Okay, if I put 3.11, so I'll get 3. Whatever the integer is there in the leftmost point, we will take that value. So all the values will come here, so 3 will be the answer. So from RHL we are getting 3. Now see, LHL exists as 2, RHL exists as 3, है ना? They both exist, but they are not equal. But these both are not equal. That is why limit does not exist. So this is our answer. Got it? Sure. Got it or not? Come to next problem. Like any function fx is given that is equal to x square plus 1. Okay, then find limit of fx when x is tending towards 2, है ना? Got it? So easy one, just limit x tending towards 2, that is x square plus 1. Okay, so now find values. So LHL is what? This one is 2, so you will get, when you put 1.9, we have to solve this one. When we put 1.9, then we will get 4.61 something. Okay, when I put 1.99, I'll get something 4 point values, na? Getting or not? Like at 2 we are getting 5, है ना? So if I am putting less value than 2, that means what? I'll get some values which are lesser than 5, and more than 4 है ना. So I'll put 1.99, so this will come 4.999 something है ना. Getting it now? So this value is approaching towards 5. Okay, so LHL I am getting 5. Okay, fine. What about RHL? What about RHL? Like this one is 2. Let's take 2.1. At 2.1 I get 5.001 something. Okay, if I put 2.01, like 01 I'll take. If 001 I'll take, then I'll get 5.0001 something. Okay, means I'll get more value than 5, but in but very less. Okay, so this value is getting more lesser. So I am getting 5 point more 0 than 1. Okay, like at 2.1 I am getting what, 5 point something na, like. Okay, so this is how we are getting values. So these values approaching towards 5 है ना, and these values approaching towards 2. Okay, towards 2. So when we are moving from right hand side towards 2, these value also moving towards 5, approaching towards 5 है ना. So जितनी छोटी value रखो, 0 0 100 times 0 then 1, so you will get 0 0 0 0, and 200 times then 1 है ना, because square is there ना. So this value is approaching towards 5, this value is approaching towards 2. Okay, now what? Now see, LHL exists, RHL exists, and both are equal है ना. That means limit value at x tending to 2 of fx is equal to L, and what is L? That is 5. So this is our answer. Okay, got it? So that's it for class. Okay, from the next class we will carry forward our topic. Got it? Fine.